Yo, welcome to the show where the energy's flown. It's your boy dropping heat. This is the Ozone. Step into the arena where legends are made. From the courts to the fields, watch the highlights played. Football, hoops, baseball, it's all fair game. If it's sports, we bring the fire, put respect on the name. Stats and debates, we break it all down. From the rookies to the GOATs who wear the crown. No halftime, all grind, we're setting the tone. It's prime time, baby, you're in the Ozone. Yo, it's passion, precision, the plays we dissect. From the underdogs, grinding to the Hall of Fame vets. This is more than a podcast, it's a sports throne. Let's kick it off right, welcome to the Ozone.
You have entered the Ozone with Omar and Dave.
Let's go, baby. We are here at Casa de Vega. It's your boy Omar. And you guys have officially entered the Ozone. You know I'm here with super producer Dave himself. Brother, it's a new week. How we feeling?
Brother, it's beautiful weather out here. We're about to hit up the pool. And the Knicks won game one like we predicted. We're about to get into it. So
let's do it. It's This Week in Knicks.
This Week in Knicks.
All right, y'all. This Week in Knicks, playoff edition, as you see. Brother, the Knicks take game one over the Detroit Pistons, 123-112. Go ahead.
final score makes it look like it was easy.
Yeah.
This wasn't an easy game.
Not at all.
And there were times that we were quiet. There were times that we were like, what the hell the Knicks are doing? And this is something that we're not surprised of. The Knicks have done this to us many times during the season, but they got it together in the fourth quarter. And they went on a 21-0 run. Defense stepped up. Cade Cunningham held to 21 points.
Crap the bed.
And
all right, look.
Break it down, bro.
Let's just put it like this. As you touched on, a very even first half. We touched on it in the playoff preview. The Knicks could not let this team get into a groove in the first quarter. We saw in the season that when they did that, Detroit built their confidence, and Detroit ultimately ended up winning the game. The Knicks didn't do that. They almost, because the Knicks held it pretty cool in the first quarter. Detroit went on a run where the quarter ended 27-27. Obviously, the Knicks and the second quarter was very tight. Knicks outscored them 30-28. But it was the third quarter where Detroit really started moving and grooving, as Will Clyde Frazier would say. You know, they outscored us by 10, 36-26. They got big games. They got big first half, third quarter performances from Tobias Harris. He had 25 points. I don't expect to see that throughout the series. I'm going to be honest. Tim Hardaway had 19. Malik Beasley, and I want to get into Malik Beasley pretty soon, but he had 20 points. Dennis Schroeder had 8 points, and I believe all 8 of them were in that third quarter.
Yep.
But what I want to touch on is the Knicks defensive. The Knicks defense looked amazing. You know, you can obviously tell that Tibbs was holding things back, because I even seen some things that I never saw in the season. OG Anunoby is a straight dog.
Yeah.
OG Anunoby put the clamps on Cade Cunningham. And obviously, I don't want to overreact. It's game one.
Right.
I'm not overreacting. However, the media all week has said this man is the best player in this series. The total lack of respect for the captain, Mr. Jalen Brunson, which shout out to Ronnie Feig. He had the Kiff world in a panic because this man wants to drop tees on tip-off, and it was stressful for me.
But
I got one. I did get one. Was able to get one. But, you know, Jalen Brunson had a slow first half, and I also think that was it. Jalen Brunson, I think, shot like 3 or 12 in the first half, and obviously, as Jalen Brunson always does, and it Clutch Player of the Year, which he's going to get, he produced in the second half.
With a little scare. Because there was a little misstep, and it looked like something.
But you know what? They showed the replay of that, bro. And I think, and obviously, unfortunately, Dave and I, we're Knicks fans. We wanted to watch this game on MSG. Obviously, Gotham app was tripping for us. We had to watch it on ESPN. Thank the Lord, Mike Breen was calling it. But Richard Jefferson, he kind of mentioned on that play, because it did look scary.
Yes.
Brunson stepped on his foot. But when you looked at it, the ankle never turned.
Yeah.
So
It was just
Richard Jefferson was like, maybe it's kind of a, I don't want to mess this up because I messed this up last week. PTSD from the ankle that maybe he thought maybe he re-aggravated it, but he didn't.
Yeah.
But it was scary because he was holding it on the floor, and I believe
And then he
still
disappeared.
down.
He disappeared for a few. He went to the locker room.
Changed his sneakers. Just thought he changed his sneakers.
Changed his sneakers.
Changed his sneakers.
The Grinches weren't working for him.
No, I think did he start with the Grinches?
The Grinches were the sneakers he started with. Yeah.
Oh, I thought he started with
Because I remember the replay. They showed the green sneakers when he did the miss.
Brother, I think I'm gonna have to fact check you on that. I think he changed to the Grinches in the fourth quarter.
We'll check.
I'll check. All right.
But either way, it was a misstep, and luckily he showed out on the fourth quarter, just as the rest of the team did. There were things that went going for us in the fourth quarter, so they had the 5-second violation on the Pistons, and then a 24-second shot violation, and that just set the tone for what the Knicks needed. Something woke up in them, and they went on that run for 21-0. And then also the miscue from Thompson. What's his first name?
You all right, brother? He had the Kobe Grinches on in the first half. Dave has the image now, and he has the joke on you, Kobe fives in the second half. He has been wearing those since he came back.
Right.
So Jalen Brunson, for those diehard Knicks fans know, he plays a lot in the Kobe sixes. But since rolling his ankle, since he's returned from that injury, he has been wearing the Kobe fives. PE's jokes on you, Kobe. So
yeah, it may have been just a comfort thing when he may have had PTSD, and just like what, let me go with the for sure thing. I know that's been working, and OG has been playing. Dog. We already saw. We already.
Sorry.
We already. My neighbors are gonna call us. We already seen OG play like this with Brunson being out to close the season, but now we're seeing it in the playoffs, and this is what we want to see, because while I understand that the team is supposed to be centered around Jalen Brunson and Cat, we do like seeing that OG has been that person to also step up, not just on the defense, but also on the offensive plays as well.
And it's funny that you say that, because that's something that we got to give Tom Thibodeau credit. Nick's Twitter and sometimes myself, we are so quick to criticize Tom Thibodeau, his rotations, his play calling, his play adjustments. And what he did was, during the Brunson injury, as you touched on, brother, OG was very aggressive. We were running the offense with OG Anunoby. And with Brunson coming back, we saw that the Knicks haven't really changed that. Yes, Brunson's going to cook. Yes, Brunson's going to have the ball in his hands. But there are going to be possessions where we're going to give it to Anunoby, and he's going to play make. And this is why I said Cunningham, Virginia Ham, Green Eggs and Ham, Knicks in 5, because I just don't think Detroit, although they had good games from Tobias Harris, Tim Hardaway, and Malik Beasley's having a career year, those guys are not guys that you can bank on and say they're going to average 20 points a game in this series. Right. They're going to shoot efficient. Tobias Harris shot 8 of 13, 4 of 5 from 3. Tim Hardaway shot 7 of 13, 3 of 8 from 3. I can bet the crib Tim Hardaway's not going to shoot like that throughout the whole series.
Right.
Malik Beasley shot 7 of 16 from the field, 6 of 12 from 3. Cade Cunningham is the guy
in that team, yeah.
On that team. He's the only legit playmaker, the only guy that can go and get his basket. The Knicks have multiple guys that can do that.
And Isiah Stewart looked like he got banged up in that game.
Oh, yeah. And and this fake tough guy thing, play that all you want with Detroit. They're really falling into their own hype with this bad boys thing. And you could see Thompson, foul trouble. Durant, foul trouble. Isiah Stewart, foul trouble. Because you know why? You want to be the bad boys. However, the thing about the bad boys, they were smart defensive players. If you want to just go and hack and get yourself into foul trouble, do that.
We'll take it.
We'll take it, because that's going to lead to points. I will say this, though. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
Speaking of which, the refs are letting them play.
The refs did let them play.
There's a lot of calls that I'm just like, damn, you missed that. Damn, you missed that. Of course, as a fan, you're always gonna play. You're gonna side with your team and say, hey, those are missed calls. But there was a lot done to the Pistons that I feel like didn't get called as well. So the refs are letting them play, and you can appreciate that when it's on both sides.
Yeah, they definitely did. But I want to highlight 2 guys that came off the bench that produced. One, Mitchell Robinson.
Yes.
Mitchell Robinson is if the guy just wasn't always hurt, man. Like the defensive player of the year awards, man, this guy will have all of them, and like he is just such a anchor on the defense. Tom Thibodeau definitely played the big man lineup. More minutes than what we thought, more minutes than what he let out to the media. The media asked him, "Is he going to run the lineup with Cat and Mitchell?" Now, obviously, I think he ran it a little longer in the first half because of the foul trouble of Josh Hart. But when they were on the floor together, man, Mitchell Robinson, they look good. Mitchell Robinson, as Knicks fans, we all thought, we all knew he was going to bully Detroit. And don't want to spoil it, but y'all going to see something about Mitchell Robinson baptizing a few Pistons. And that's what he did. He bullied Durant. He bullied Isiah Stewart. A lot of putbacks, a lot of rebounds.
And Cat looks comfortable.
Cat looks good
when he knows he doesn't have to be that guy, always at the basket.
Cat, and because it worked in Minnesota.
It did.
It did work in Minnesota, and I know during that playoff run, especially Dallas, Gobert became a liability. However, I truly think, and you can call it bias or not, Mitchell Robinson is a much better defender than Rudy Gobert. Mitchell Robinson he can be put on an island and handle himself. We also with what he did with Jason Tatum, uh, the last game they played, where they thought they had Mitchell Robinson on the island and Mitchell Robinson blocked Tatum's three. So Mitchell Robinson is not like Rudy Gobert, where at some points he's a defensive liability. Mitchell Robinson is not that. So I'm good with running that big man lineup. And then shout outs to Campaign. I'm gonna be honest.
Who you didn't want to see?
I didn't want to see him, and I acknowledge that I did not want to see Campaign in the playoff rotation. But this is what you're gonna get from Campaign, and I'm gonna keep the energy the same. As I said with Tim Hardaway and those guys in Detroit, can we expect Campaign to play like this every game? No. I'm gonna be honest. Campaign is a very shrieky microwave kind of guy. If he's gonna hit his first couple shots, then we're gonna have a great experience with Campaign. If he's not, then we're gonna have a very bad experience with Campaign, because Campaign does what Campaign does. He chucks. It's just a good thing that it went in.
Yeah.
And he really ignited the team, in the start of the fourth quarter where we were down. We get the 5-second, violation that leads it to a cat 3. That basically turned things around. Campaign ties the game at 98. And then basically that starts the 21-0 run. And you saw it. You saw what we all spoke about, what the New York media spoke about, that the Detroit Pistons, however, they do have veteran guys, their young guys are going to feel what the Garden is in the playoffs. And you could tell they were shell-shocked in that fourth quarter, where the Knicks was rallying up. Jalen Brunson, when they tied the game at 98, you can attest to this. Jalen Brunson gets the layup, gets the foul, and what did I say, brother? I said it's over.
Yep.
This is where we finished them off.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what the Knicks did. And Detroit looked a little too big. The moment was too big for them at that time.
Yeah. And my question to you now is, game one, down. There were things that we liked that we saw, and there are things that we want to see that improve. My question to you is, what would you like to see in the second game from the Knicks?
I want to see a bigger performance from Mikal Bridges.
Okay.
He played 29 minutes. He was a minus 16 on the floor, 8 points. He was 4 of 9 from the field. Although he did have some big mid-range shots in the fourth quarter when Tibbs sat Campaign down. And but I want to see a little bit more aggressiveness from Mikal. I did like his defense though. Mikal's defense did look like Phoenix Suns defense. He was, I believe he got into a little bit of foul trouble. He did have 3 fouls early in the game, but still I want to see, at the end of the day, we traded 5 picks for him. At the end of the day, we brought him in so he can be that wing stop duo with OG Anunoby. And he has the ability to drop buckets. So I want to see a bigger improvement from him. And I want to see a bigger improvement from Deuce.
Zero.
Deuce has 0 points. He had 4 assists. It's funny enough because he was a +9 on the floor. However, I think Deuce defensively, but what I did like is he didn't let his offense mess up his defense.
Right.
But I think Deuce could give us a lot more off the bench.
Yeah, we got 14 from campaign, and that easily could have
Yeah,
been Deuce McBride.
and that's easily there. You go. You know what I mean? So imagine if you get, let's just say, all right, campaign you drop 8, but Deuce McBride gives us 14. Mikel gives us a solid 17 piece. Now you're looking at arguably maybe a 20-point win.
Right.
A blow. Now you're looking at a blowout. As Dave touched on, we won by 11, but this game was a lot closer than what this final score entails of, because the Knicks did go on a 21-0 run. That's something that's not really regular in today's game.
And something you don't want to see again and again. You
don't want to see the Knicks have to trail, right, be down 8-9 points and then have to go on a run like that. So that's what I want to see, guys. Dave got the schedule right now. Game 2 is tonight, 7:30 on TNT. But for the diehards, you also can watch it on MSG. We have updated the schedule, so it's not the same one as we posted last week. So Knicks take a 1-0 series lead. And let's see. Obviously, with the playoffs, there's a lot of it stays off, it's adjustments. So let's see how Detroit retaliates, and let's see how the Knicks perform. But before we move on, shout out to Karl Anthony Towns. Karl Anthony Towns balled out 10 of 14 from the field. He only shot 3 threes, but double, 23 points, 11 rebounds. He had 4 steals, and he looked very good.
Yeah.
He looked very good wasn't playing a lot of drop defense as he normally does during the season. OG was fighting over screens. He was out there helping with the trap. I believe they got like 2 steals on Cade Cunningham in that first half of the 4. So Karl Anthony Towns has the ability to play good defense. He just doesn't.
And I feel like he can this team, specifically the Pistons, I feel like he can dominate. I just think something has to snap.
Yeah, and
something has to snap.
Obviously, he shot only 3 threes and I think we're going to see a difference in game 2 from Detroit. Detroit tried to pull, and like we said a couple weeks ago, it's a copycat league.
Yep.
OKC, UFC now. OKC and Boston, when they played us, they put a smaller guard. When OKC played us, they put Jalen Williams. They try to put stronger guards or stronger threes on Karl Anthony Towns.
Right.
When Boston plays us, they like to throw in a little bit of Drew Holiday. Detroit tried to do that in game 1, putting Tobias Harris. They had Durant on Josh Hart, and they had Tobias Harris on Karl Anthony Towns. And that's why Karl Anthony Towns shot so efficient.
Right.
Because instead of relying on the 3, you got a mouse in the house, you got a smaller guy, you take advantage, and I like that he did that. So I think we get the same level of performance from Towns, but I think now it's going to be different, because I think game 2, if they put Jalen Durant now on Karl Anthony Towns, then I think now you get more of the spread offense of Karl Anthony Towns, where you're going to see more of a perimeter game, because he's going to have a bigger, slower guy. I think that's where Towns is going to hit a little shimmies, and that's where he's going to stretch the floor and start producing more threes.
All right.
So, guys, we covered that. The Knicks is looking good. Hopefully, we're going up 2-0 tonight, and we'll go back to Detroit. But we got to talk about another hot team that wear the orange and blue, because right now, these boys are rolling, despite any hate people want to say about a certain player on that team. But the boys from Queens are rolling, and let's get into it on the Amazin Rundown.
The Amazin Rundown.
It's about the Mets, baby. Love the Mets. All right, baby. Let's go. Get a home run, baby. Love the Mets. Let's go, Mets.
All right, y'all. You already know the Amazin Rundown is where we cover them boys from Queens. And right now, brother, the Mets had a good week. Didn't start off so hot.
No.
Didn't start off so hot. They lost 2 out of 3 to the I was gonna say the Timberwolves, but they lost 2 out of 3 to the Minnesota Twins.
Minnesota.
They won 5-1 in the first game. They dropped the second game 3-6 and dropped the last game, the rubber matchup, 4-3. However, they did bounce back, winning 3 straight of the 4-game set to the Cardinals, 4-1. Friday 5-4 it was Brandon Nimmo hoodie jersey or whatever. But Francisco Lindor, my guy, shout out to Francisco Lindor. He's been announced the captain for Team Puerto Rico for the World Baseball Classic. He hits a walk-off home run for the 5-4 win, and then they win 3 nothing Saturday. And obviously, guys, at this recording, we record on Sunday, so obviously we don't know
The results of
the results of the fourth and final game. However, the Mets did win the series. Brother, what's your overall thoughts on the Mets this week and what you like?
I like that they are getting it going with the lack of Juan Soto, and this is not a critique of Juan Soto. More so, this is just the team itself. Like, if one of your guys is down, everybody else needs to step up. And this is one of those things that when Juan Soto gets it going, because he will, that's the problem.
Yeah.
When he gets it going, this team is gonna be really hot, and you just like everything else working in their favor. Francisco Lindor picking up the slack, Pete Alonso being that guy. This team is you're gonna have a lot of highs this year, Mets fans, and just keep going, keep
Uh,
going.
what I guess what I like is Kodai Senga had a great performance yesterday. I mean on Saturday. 5 2/3, 3 hits, 4 strikeouts, no earned runs. You talk about with their injuries and that sort of stuff with, them not having Mania right now, with Clay not Clay Holmes, with Frankie Montas. So right now, Kodai Senga he's having a good year so far. Right now he's 3-1. He's got a 0.79 ERA. 20 strikeouts and with over 22 on the third innings. I like it. As we touched on, the pitching has been phenomenal for the Mets. But what I'll say this about Juan Soto, and we do know that Juan Soto is going to turn it around. But Sal Licata from the fan, obviously New Yorkers know who that is. I'm not his biggest fan. I think he does have takes that are just there to make, just to get clout, to get recognition on the show, and I get that part. However, he made a point that I agreed with.
Okay.
And he said you can't basically have one without the other. So you can't look at Pete Alonso's numbers. And I'll preface this also with Yankee fans, because he made this comparison with Ben Rice and, who's having a hot start for the Yankees. You can't preface about Pete Alonso's numbers, get so excited about Pete Alonso's numbers, and say, wow, he's having an MVP-like season. However, go with Juan Soto and say, well, it's only been 20 games.
Right.
If you're going to have that energy with Pete Alonso, hey, he's having an MVP-type season.
Yeah, to start the season.
To start the season, and then go with Juan Soto, oh, well, it's only been 20 games. We got to relax.
So then it's only been 20
The same
games.
could be said about Pete Alonso.
Right.
Like, whoa, relax on the MVP talk. It's only been 20 games.
Right.
So,
because
yeah,
next month, Juan Soto could hit 20 home runs, and we're all is forgiven.
and it did look good. It did look good, obviously. And you know what? Let's talk about it, because we didn't. Obviously, when Juan Soto said these remarks,
Yes.
we had already filmed last week's episode. Obviously, with WrestleMania, we didn't touch on it on the WrestleMania show. Juan Soto was asked about the way he's being pitched. And Juan Soto, shout outs to him, he's been very transparent when asked questions. And he basically, in a nutshell, paraphrasing, he's acknowledged that he did see a lot more pitches when he had the best hitter in the game batting behind him in Aaron Judge. He said he's been being pitched different. And some Met fans have took that where they didn't think it's a big deal. He's saying the truth. Obviously, you love your guy Pete Alonso, but he is not Aaron Judge.
No. And if you think that,
right,
you're delusional.
Yeah, you're delusional. But you have some Met fans that go, "Wow, that's very disrespectful of Pete Alonso. He's having a good year. Maybe he should have just worded it different or whatever." You have even some that say, "Well, you know what? Go back to the Yankees." You got some. I've seen some videos of them saying Yankee fans take back Juan Soto.
I mean, we'll take.
No, I think they're stupid. I would gladly take back Juan Soto. But what was your thoughts on those comments that he had made about how he's being pitched and, obviously the impact that Aaron Judge had in his career?
It's real talk, and this is the thing that sometimes fans need to separate their fanaticism with what is actually reality. At the end of the day, there's a difference between Pete Alonso and Aaron Judge. If you're hitting behind one of them, like you're gonna see a difference. And I love Juan Soto for being transparent and saying exactly what wasn't that took place. If you're a fan of the Mets and you feel like you know what he shouldn't have said that, then what do you want him to say?
Yeah. Yeah. Um, as we touched on, he's gonna pick it up. I think that's it. But Met fans, I think you know what it was is that when he made those announcements, uh, it kind of cooled down because he hit a home run that game, hit a home run the following game, but then the final game of that Minnesota Twins series, he went 0 for 5 with 3 strikeouts, and that's where like it kind of heated up again. And then I saw a video, and Met fans, I'm sorry,
No, go ahead. No, keep going.
we talked about this in the beginning of the season. Expectations, and then especially with Juan Soto signing this record deal, you guys are under a microscope. Everything will be dissected that haven't been, I would say, ever maybe with the Mets in the last 10, 15 years. Did you see the video I guess some guy made that they're saying that Juan Soto was jealous of when Francisco Lindor hit the game-winning home run? And I'm like,
This
bro,
Mets fan?
this is it's disguised as a Mets fan.
Okay. I didn't see the video, but I
It's
will
ridiculous.
I will share a screenshot from our group chat where they said, "Get Juan Soto off of our team." Shout out to Wells. I will. Sorry, Wells. You posted it, but
But I'm gonna be honest. If I was a Met fan, I would be upset because I'm upset with a certain Yankee that's brought in right now that I'm losing patience for. So, and we're gonna get into that. So I would be upset. Now I think the Met fans that are like, "Yo, take back Juan Soto," I think are delusional and stupid, and I have no problem saying that. Have patience with your boy. He's gonna pick it up.
and you know what's the other crazy part, bro?
Yeah,
They're winning.
they're winning games, and this all right, and that's good that you mentioned that.
You're literally 14-7 right now.
It's good that you mentioned that because let's get into the week ahead because now this is where it gets a little spicy, and I don't want to be a hater, but it's been talked about. Obviously, yeah, and I've never been one to be this kind of person because you play who's on your schedule. You play who's on your schedule, and you get fat when you can. And I say that a lot on this show. Get fat when you can. However, so far, the Mets haven't really played. They haven't really played good teams.
They
Let's
haven't
just
played
be honest.
they haven't played their competition.
They haven't really played their competition. Obviously, they've only lost 2 series. And credit to them, they've only lost 2 series, and I get it. They swept Toronto, and Toronto is like Toronto, is tied with us in the first place. But however, this week ahead is going to be this series they got coming up.
Yes.
Tonight is going to be big.
Yep.
They start off a 3-game set against the Philadelphia Phillies. Obviously, a rematch of the NL division where the Mets won. This is going to be the litmus test for this Mets team.
Very early, yeah.
It's very early, but you want to see where you're at. You want to see where you're at. You're at home. The weather is predicted to be pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
You're going against the Phillies. This is the series I want to see.
Right.
I'm going to be glued to it. And then obviously they have the Nationals. The Nationals are playing pretty solid ball. Don't let the record fool you. They got a lot of good young guys on the road for a 4-game set. But right now, that this is going to be a good week. This is going to be an exciting week. So when do you want to start the bet? We're starting the bet after the playoffs of the Knicks, right?
Yeah.
The new bet. Okay.
Yeah. So what?
So let's just
A little after June.
Yeah, let's just predict the series then. Phillies, Nationals. So they got a 3-game set with the Phillies, a 4-game set with the Washington Nationals. Where you leaning towards?
I got the Mets losing the Philly series.
Okay.
Not getting swept, but I got
So
you.
2 out of 3.
Yeah, 2 out of 3. And then I got you guys winning the National Series.
So 3-1 or 4-game sweep, or what are we looking at?
I'm looking 3-1.
3-1.
3-1.
So right now, as of this recording, the Mets are 14-7. The Phillies is 13-8. Washington is 8-12. I got them winning. I got them winning against the Phillies. I wish I could see the rotation right now. I know Clay Holmes is pitching as of this recording, he's gonna pitch the final game of the Cardinals. Kodai Senga pitch. So I think Tyler McGill, Canning, I think that's who's gonna be pitching that series. Tyler McGill, Canning, and maybe Peterson. Um I'm not sure who's pitching for Phillies, but I'm going 2 out of 3 with the Mets, and I'm going a 2-2 split with the Nationals. You know my thing with 4-game series, they're very tough to win. Oh, we have the matchups here?
Yeah.
Okay, so we got McGill Nola, Canning Sanchez, and we got Peterson Wheeler. Wow, that changes my thing. I gotta leave. I'm sorry, Met fans. I gotta leave Phillies 2 out of 3. You're getting Nola, you're getting their best pitchers.
Right.
And I know Canning has been pitching well. Peterson's been pitching well. Tyler McGill has been good. Yeah, I'm gonna lean Phillies. Sorry, Met fans. I'm gonna lean Phillies in this series 2 out of 3. Just because the pitching rotation, I just gotta lean more towards the Phillies on that front. And then I got the 2-2 split with the Nationals. 4-game series are difficult to win, although you guys making it look easy against the Cardinals. But I got a 2-2 split.
Okay.
So let's move on. Let's move on to them boys from the Bronx. How about that, right?
Let's do it.
Let's get into it. It's the Pinstripes Report. Alrighty, y'all. The Pinstripes Report, you know, this is where we cover the Bronx Bombers. And right now, brother,
The Pinstripe Report.
the Yankees had a great week. They go on and sweep the Kansas City Royals 4-1. The first game, the second game on Jackie Robinson Day 4-2, and then they close it out with a sweep 4-3 to the Royals. And then the start of this four-game set, the Yankees go on to win 6-3 the first game, and then on Friday 1-0. But then Saturday, a tough 10-8 loss where. And I'm just going to jump into it, brother. Obviously, we don't know if the Yankees will win Sunday's game, but I want to jump into it. The Yankees come in with an 8-4 lead in the ninth inning. And Devin Williams comes in and basically craps the bed again. 1 inning, 4 hits, 4 runs, 4 of them, 1 walk, no strikeouts. Now,
The error doesn't help.
the error doesn't help, but at the end of the day, he still gave up 4 hits.
Yeah.
As we touched on with Juan Soto, I think Devin Williams will eventually get it together. However, I think it's time for a change.
What do you like to see?
I want to see him move to the eighth inning. I want him to set up, and I want Luke Weaver closing.
Okay.
Luke Weaver was our closer towards the back end of the season when Clay Holmes was struggling. Clay Holmes found his rhythm when he started being in less tensed innings.
Okay.
When they moved him 7th, 8th, and they put Weaver in. Weaver can pitch multiple innings. Luke Weaver has proven that he can get it done in big spots. Right now, Luke Weaver's numbers are a lot better than Devin Williams. Right now, he has a 0 ERA, 11 innings pitched, 13 strikeouts, a whip of 0.64. That whip means walks to hit innings pitched. So that's his ratio between walks and hits. So it's very low. Yeah, I gotta see a change right now. He's too many moments where, and the thing is, he's giving big leads, bro.
Mhm.
Like I could see maybe the 1 run, you give up the home run, 1 bad pitch, bam, you tired. But you look at the Detroit game when he came in with a 4-0 lead, gave up 3 runs, almost blew that game. You look at Kansas City. Kansas City, we were winning, and he let the first two guys on. Now he did bounce back. He did bounce back and ends up getting that save. However, it didn't look good.
Yeah.
And now you look at here, you're coming with a 4-run lead. You are an elite closer. You're billed as an elite closer. He's proven he's an elite closer. And he comes in with a 4-run lead and you blow the game. That is unacceptable. These are games that, although, yes, we are in April, brother, but these are games that you look back in the calendar, and maybe if you're one game short of winning the division, maybe you're one game short of finishing with the best record in the American League.
This is the game that
This is a game you'll circle and go, we had this game, and we blew it.
right. I do want to talk about something that I did enjoy this week.
What's that?
Ben Rice.
Ben Rice. Yes.
Ben Rice is looking good. He ended up getting 4 hits that
But
game.
4 for 4.
Yeah.
4 for 4.
Against Tampa Bay on the 17th.
Yeah.
Looked really good. And it's one of those young guys that you're just enjoying seeing keep developing. We're having
I know he did get pulled out the game the other day. I'm assuming he's fine.
yeah.
I haven't heard anything outside of that. But yeah, Ben Rice has been balling, man. I think the Yankees have Goldschmidt. Obviously, like guys are hitting really well for the Yankees.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, Jazz Chisholm has been a little slumpy, and so is Cody Bellinger. But right now, the Yankees are getting good production for Paul Goldschmidt, good production for Ben Rice, and obviously the captain is doing what he does.
Yep.
So overall, I don't want to let this Devin Williams meltdown take away from a good week that the Yankees had.
Right.
The Yankees had a good week. Max Fried, another great pitcher performance against the Kansas City Royals. He has just showed he's the ace. Shout outs to Carlos Rendon. I've been hard on Carlos Rendon. He had a great performance, 9 strikeouts against Tampa Bay in the 1-0 win. So, we got to give credit when credit is due. So right now the Yankees are in good shape right now.
And we actually have sole possession of
Yeah, the Yankees right now, as of this recording, is 13-8. They are in first place. So the Yankees look good, man. I like the way this Yankee team is clicking so far, and I don't obviously Tampa is 9-12, but Tampa's always been a pesky team. So
they always will be with
if you
us.
look at it, the Yankees should have had a perfect week. However, they could still salvage. They could still win the series as of this recording today.
Yep.
With the 4th and final game in Tampa. So let's look at the week ahead for the Yankees. This is going to be a big week. I think just like the Mets, I think the Yankees got a very important week as they're going to play another playoff. There's going to be another playoff rematch as they are going to be playing a 3-game set in Cleveland starting tonight. Where Cleveland's 11-9, so they're a 3-game set. But right now, Cleveland is 5-1 at home. So they're a very good home team. They have won 7 of their last 10 games. They're currently on a 2-game winning streak as of this recording. So they have a 3-game set with the Guardians, and then they have a division battle. A 3-game set with the Tampa Bay Rays, with the Toronto Blue Jays. So this is going to be good because right now the Blue Jays are 12-9 as of this recording. 1 game behind the Yankees in first place. So this is going to be a big game. This is going to be a big series, sort of similar to Phillies and Mets, because right now division games are important in baseball. Obviously, with the schedule where every team plays each other, now the head-to-head with your division opponents are less than what it usually used to be. It used to be 19. Now I believe it's 14 or 15 now or something like that. It's been reduced to. So it's very important. Division games are very important no matter where it's getting played during the season. So the Yankees, show your grit. I got the Yankees do very well against Cleveland.
Okay.
So I got the Yankees winning this series 2 out of 3. And I got us beating Toronto 2 out of 3 as well. So I got us 4-2 week for our boys.
I'm not arguing that.
Got the same?
I got the same. I'm literally looking at it. The only game that I'm concerned of is the one with Warren. Warren's my guy, and I do want to support him, but just concerned there. That's all.
Yeah, and they have Bybee pitching, so
Yeah.
That's a game to look out for.
Mm-hmm.
But I do like that we have We got Max Fried setting the tone in the Toronto series.
Yeah, we got
And
Carrasco,
then
Fried, and then Schmidt.
and shout out to Carlos Carrasco. Carlos Carrasco has been decent. He's been decent. So shout outs to him. Like we said, we just needed him to. We need Carlos Carrasco to hold the fort down until Luis Hill comes back. So he's been able to do that.
Yeah.
So let's go Yankees. Have a good week, boys, and you know, let's see how that goes. So, brother, you want to get into our favorite segment?
Let's do it.
Let's get it, guys. This is Quick Hits. All right, y'all. This is Quick Hits. This is where we talk everything around the globe. The hits are so quick, you don't see it coming. Brother, the Denver Nuggets on Saturday, they won game one in overtime against the Los Angeles Clippers. This is a neck-and-neck series. Who do you got winning this one?
The Nuggets. The Nuggets. Um, Shout out to somebody who was for a time my favorite player in basketball, which was Russell Westbrook.
Yeah, he
looked,
was. Yeah, he was. I forgot about that.
That was my guy.
That is very true. I did forget about that.
He is a nutcase. But if there's one thing I will always say, and the reason why he was my favorite player is because he will give you his all, whether it's bad, whether it's good. You know he played his hardest. It's not like he slacked off, and he looked good in this game. And I think they win the series. The Clippers, this team, it's just Harden, Kawhi. Kawhi looks better. Kawhi looks like you start remembering. Oh, this is why Kawhi was considered one of the best players in the world.
Yeah.
But I think this series they don't have what it takes to beat the Nuggets, and we thought that the Nuggets would have some questions with the head coach change so late into going into the playoffs. But they look good in this one, and we'll see how the series shapes up. But I personally think the Nuggets win. What about you?
How many games though?
Oof.
Because then that's gonna that
In six. Nuggets win in six. Nuggets in six.
Kawhi Leonard played 41 minutes, 22 points, 9 of 15 from the field. Zubac had a good game, double-double, 21 points, 13 rebounds, 39 minutes, 10 of 15 from the field. Harden played 43 minutes. I would say this. I think the Clippers are the much deeper team. But I can't argue the fact that the Denver Nuggets have the best player on the court, arguably the best player in the world. Vucevic, who continues to have monster games, monster performances. However, people talk so much crap about Tom Thibodeau. You look at the minutes, Aaron Gordon, 46. I know they went to overtime, but Aaron Gordon, 46. Joker, 46. Jamal Murray, 48. Christian Braun, 45. Denver only played 3 bench players. Peyton Watson played 14 minutes. Jalen Pickett played 5. Russell Westbrook played 34. This is where I lean more towards this is where I think the Clippers have an advantage because they have the depth. They can rotate players a little bit more. But I got Nuggets in 7 because I just think I'm going to take the Joker. But I wouldn't be surprised if the Clippers win the series. But I got Nuggets in 7.
Yeah. Black eye on Gordon, by the way.
Yeah. Did he say how he got that?
I don't know.
Okay.
I know he spoke about it, but
Okay.
I don't know. All right, same with the NBA playoffs. The Lakers dropped game 1 to the Minnesota Wolves, 117 to 95, and the Indiana Pacers take down the Bucks, 117 to 98. Which game, one loser, is more likely to get eliminated in the first round, bro?
The Lakers. No. Obviously, I think this is a pretty easy one. I think this is it's got to be the Bucks because right now they don't have Dame Lillard. Now, thank God that Dame Lillard has been cleared. He's no longer on blood thinners for his blood clots. He's trying to make his way back. But you just look at it right now, brother. The starting lineup for the Bucks was a combined. Hold on, let me do the math. Basically, I'll just put it like this: Giannis had 36 points. Brook Lopez had 9. Ryan Rollins had 5. So, 14 points outside of Giannis' 36 was scored by the starting lineup. Now they did get good bench production. Gary Trent went 14. Porter had 12. AJ Green had 15. I just don't think they got enough firepower to beat Indiana if they don't have Dame.
Yeah.
Now if they can get Dame Dollar, maybe Milwaukee can salvage game 2, bring it back to Milwaukee with the series tied. I would, maybe have a little bit more confidence in them, but I don't. But what I will say this though, and that's the only reason why I'm picking the Bucks, because I don't think the Lakers are clearing the waters well. They have an issue. And I think too much people confidently gave the Lakers the advantage in the series because you're going off the big names of Luka and LeBron. However, people forget the defensive liability that Luka is and the superstar stardom of the superstar level of who Edwards is. Julius Randle, shout out to Julius Randle. He played the very well game. He was plus 19. He had 16 points, 5 assists, 5 rebounds in 35 minutes. He shot 6 of 11 from the field, 4 6 from three. He had a good game. But the question is, who's more of the threat to get eliminated? I'm going Bucks.
I'm going Bucks too. I mean, you look at that game. You have Torian Prince scored 0. Kyle Kuzma did nothing.
They
Nothing.
traded Kyle Kuzma for they tricked. Yeah,
He
yeah.
did nothing for them. So it's just it. I think the Lakers will get it together. I'm not saying they win this series or lose this series. That's not a prediction I'm making for this right now. But as far as
Let's predict it though.
you want
Let's
to predict
predict
it,
it. Let's predict it. Let's do the Bucks series first.
Buck series, they get swept.
Wow. Damn.
They get swept.
Damn. I got Bucks and I'm not Bucks. I got Pacers in 6. I think Giannis is good enough to get a couple games at home at the crib. Damn, you got them getting swept.
Getting swept.
I got like I said, Pacers in 6. If Dame could come back, Bucks in 7, but that looks less likely. So Pacers in 6. What about this Timberwolves Lakers?
7-game series.
Ooh, yep, I'm leaning that way.
If LeBron don't get it together, it's Minnesota and Ant-Man getting it done.
I got Wolves in 7. I got Wolves in 7.
LeBron looked like a shell of himself.
This is not a 3-6 matchup. This is like, especially in the Western Conference, you have to understand the Lakers are 50-32. The Nuggets finished 49-33. I mean, the Wolves.
Yeah.
The Wolves were 1 game behind the Lakers. So this is a very close matchup. I got Wolves in 7. I got Wolves in 7. Um, um, yeah.
And the thing is, Laker fans, you may be upset if you're hearing this because this is your team, but this team needs a lot to go forward. And it was a great first year with having Luka and the half season and everything like that, like with him. But this wasn't something that I think you guys were supposed to win this year. Now, if you guys go ahead and prove me wrong, go ahead. I'll eat crow. That's fine. I have no problem saying that because it's not my team. I don't give a damn. But this is not the team that I feel like wins you the championship.
No.
I think LeBron comes back another year, of course. And I think something else gets done to help this team. You have Reeves, you have Luka, you have the core three that you guys believe in right now. But this is not your year.
Look, clearly
But you're in the right direction.
Clearly we're not saying not to get excited.
Right.
I would just say limit the expectations only because you didn't even know you guys were getting Luka. So like the fact that they looked good so far with Luka is very intriguing and it's good. It's very optimistic for next year.
You have a
Not
future.
saying they're gonna get bumped in the first round. The Lakers are more than capable of even making the finals. I just think Minnesota wins this in 7.
Yeah.
Uh,
And you got a future. You have a future.
of course, they have Luka Doncic. Let's talk more NBA playoffs, brother. We got some intriguing matchups. Guys, obviously, is this recording, like we said, prefaces, we record on Sunday, so we don't know who's winning the game ones of these matchups. So we got some intriguing matches, brother. We got a slowly your maybe one of your in the closet favorite teams, Orlando Magic. You'd like to show love to the boys in Orlando.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at that. I wish I could do the same for Miami, but I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
We got the Magic and Celtics, Cavaliers and the Heat, Thunder, Grizzlies, and the Rockets and the Warriors. Brother, which series are you most excited for between the 4? And we can predict them as well.
It's a tie between the Thunder Grizzlies and the Rockets Warriors.
Okay.
The Magic are gonna get swept in this one. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. They just don't have it this year. And then Cavaliers Heat, I don't see the Heat winning those. You squeak by and you beat the Bulls to get in.
All right, so you got sweep on the East series.
Yep.
Got it.
And then but the ones as far as the series I'm most excited for, it's a tie between Thunder Grizzly and Rocket Warriors. You Rockets, you have a young team versus the veterans, and then the Thunder Grizzly, the Thunder, if they collapse, man, you can't collapse now. You were literally considered the favorite all year now. You're not the underdog.
Right now, this recording, they're up 4 on the Grizzlies. I would say that the series I'm most intrigued about is definitely Warriors and the Rockets because this series, although it's very not similar in the context of the players in that, but of the Knicks and Pistons. But you have a very young team with the Houston Rockets and unexperienced in the playoffs. Although they do have champion Van Fleet and they have a few veterans. I was gonna say Sam Adams. That's the beer.
Sponsor us.
What's the center's name? Why am I drawing?
Steve Adams?
Steven Adams. But then you have the veteran group of the Warriors: Draymond, Jimmy Butler, Steph Curry. This series is going 7 games. This series, guys, NBA fans, I think is very much going to follow the series of 2 years ago with Golden State Sacramento, a young team where Golden State, they're going to play the old card. Can they keep up with these young guys in a 7 game series? And Golden State was able to get by in that 7th game. I think this series is going to mirror that a lot. I like Houston a lot. They've coached very well with Ime Udoka. Ime Udoka, I believe, should have won Coach of the Year, but they gave it to my man from Cleveland, Kurt Atkinson, which he deserved it as well. But I got Golden State in 7. I think I'm going to take experience. I'm going to take playoff Jimmy, Steph Curry, what they bring. I don't like Draymond Green. I don't
We don't
think he's a piece of. But I got them winning in 7. I got OKC winning in 6 games with the Thunder. I do think Orlando wins the game. So I think Orlando gets gentleman swept. I think they lose in 5. And I got Miami getting swept by Cleveland.
Okay.
So yeah, that's it.
All right, moving on. UFC's exclusive window with ESPN to negotiate a new contract extension has closed, therefore making UFC free to speak with any other network. Sources say Amazon and Netflix are expected to have meetings. Which network would you want to see UFC work with?
Now this is the thing. What I didn't like when they initially signed with ESPN and they were promoting this ESPN Plus stuff. I thought it was going to mirror very much like the WWE Network at the time, where if you pay for ESPN Plus, you get the UFC pay-per-views. Now I did hear that the UFC might be mirroring that model now. So I think they're going to go to Netflix.
Okay.
I think because with Netflix and WWE, obviously WWE is owned by TKO, which owns UFC. I think they're going to Netflix. And I think with that, I think we're going to get the pay-per-views very much like how WWE pay-per-views are available through Peacock. I think we're going to get pay-per-views because I think Netflix is going to give them the bag. You look at it, Netflix has already been getting into the combat sports with the airing of Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson. They've gotten into football. They definitely tapped into sports with the deals with the NFL. Now with WWE on Raw.
And internationally, they do the WrestleMania everywhere.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Internationally, they did do WrestleMania. So I would like to see them on Netflix. Even though Amazon would be kind of fire, but I think if I had to pick, Netflix it would be it for me.
To keep everything in one place, Netflix is the place you would probably want it, just to have everything. You have your wrestling, you have your UFC. But if you're asking me, I like Amazon. I already have Amazon. I don't have Netflix. Netflix keeps on increasing their prices, and Amazon. I've been faithful for Amazon.
I have both. I have
Yeah.
Netflix free. Through T-Mobile. Well, it's not free because you're paying the T-Mobile bill,
Right.
and I got basic. But Amazon will be cool because obviously their production is A1. The way they do football, obviously I'm excited for how they're gonna do basketball next year. So it's just the modern day, bro.
Right.
That everything is becoming digital, everything is streaming. Cable is becoming extinct. However, the cable prices are remaining the same because with all these different platforms that you're gonna need to watch, that's why I like Netflix because now that limit, you don't have to maybe now if you don't have Amazon, you don't have to get it because you said Netflix will now have wrestling and UFC. So if I can get as much different sporting companies all on one platform, it's better for the consumer.
I hear your point, and I'm not. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe at some point I get Netflix again because they got a catalog as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll see.
So your IPTV and Monday Night Raw? All right, y'all. So that was quick hits. It was really quick this week. But let's get into this one. Because I love what made highlight of the week. Let's get it.
He's on fire!
All right, y'all. Highlight of the week is where we basically show you guys the highlight of the week. And there was no better fitting highlight of the week than our boy Mitchie No Snitchy, Mitchell Robinson with the putback slam.
Yeah, it wasn't a dunk.
It was a slam on Isiah Stewart. Dave's got the video here. Guys, if you're looking at the thumbnail of this episode, the picture is on the thumbnail. My boy Mitchell Robinson, with all this storylines of the Knicks not being tough, the Knicks are going to get bullied. Mitchell Robinson went and bullied the bully. As Zach Randolph told DeMarcus Cousins one time, oh, you think you a bully? Well, where I'm from, the bullies get bullied. And that's what Isiah Stewart got. He got bullied by our bully, Mitchell Robinson. Bro, that lit the garden on fire.
It did. And I almost went back and forth with you about this.
Yeah.
As far as
because you wanted another Mitchell Robinson play.
Play, which ended up with the steal and then up with the dunk on the other side for us. But watching it again, this is a beautiful one.
This one was it.
This is one of those, like, you know how like Knicks fans, they put up together the clips and everything of the postseason,
like the Shumpert dunk, the Shumpert putback dunk against Indiana.
For this season, this is going to definitely make that highlight reel.
This is it. It shook the garden, and then it's only fitting. It's almost like when Precious and Stewart made highlight of the week. Isiah Stewart, you won't be on a lot of Knicks posters sold in Walmart in the next coming weeks, and I couldn't ask for any better Detroit Piston player to be on them posters.
Yep.
So, guys, this was an incredible week. This was a fun weekend, brother, here in Casa de Vega. Obviously, we are here in Casa de Vega balcony, the suite, as you know what I'm saying? So, we had a good week. Knicks won game 1. Knicks are winning game 2 tonight. Mets had a good week. Yankees had a good week. I did go to the hockey game. The Rangers actually won.
Okay.
The Rangers won against, obviously they're not making the playoffs, but it was a good way. Sam Rosen retired, the great broadcaster for the Rangers. So it was a good week for New York.
Yeah.
Let's make it a better week next week. Guys, we thank you so much, but we need you guys' continuous support. And by doing that is sharing this video, subscribing. We want to shout out to those that connected on both WrestleMania post-show lives. We had a good reaction from those, so hopefully that's something that we will continue to do.
Yep.
But guys, remember, guys, to just hit the thumbs up in this video. Like, subscribe, leave your comments. Be sure to follow us on all social media platforms. We are available on TikTok, Threads, Instagram, and X. I didn't forget it this time. But guys, it's been a good week. Hope you guys have a great week. And we'll tap in with you guys, as we always do, every Monday, 5 p.m., because that's when Dave and I deliver the fire.
This is more than a podcast. It's a sports throne. Let's kick it off right. Welcome to the Ozone.
Let's go hit the pool.
Yeah, let's get it. Scrub-a-dub-dub. No, that's taking a bath.